It's Randy Taylor here with Richie Witt. We are standing here at Cowboys headquarters where, well, the playoffs are already over.
Already? We just started.
I know. It was barely here. If you blinked, you missed it. But Richie, I have been wanting to pick your brain about the final play of that game against the 49ers.
One of the top 10 most excruciating ends to a game in Cowboys history.
Yeah.
And they've been around since 1960.
It was brutal.
The way that game ended. Now, let's start here. The Cowboys made a mistake.
Yes.
You don't try a quarterback on the final play.
Oh, okay.
Oh, several leading up to it. More important than this one, but this is the one that's going to stick with Cowboys fans through the long bleak winter. The Cowboys made the mistake of you call a quarterback draw with 14 seconds left and no timeouts.
Yep.
Just mathematically, that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
This is where the officials come in.
Yes.
Because they also made mistakes.
Yes.
They will not admit it, but I'm here to tell you, I've broken down the film like the Zapruder film of JFK assassination. I know every frame and I know every rule, and the officials made mistakes. The officials did not cause the Cowboys to lose that game.
Yes.
But they cost the Cowboys one final play, one final chance to win that game, and they should be called out as well.
So let's talk about the fact that I've read rumors that Kellermoore called that play. Mike McCarthy would have obviously okayed it over the headset. Does that matter, or is it just the fact that, that's how the Cowboys ended their season?
It's a little disconcerting that Kellermoore, who is the hotshot commodity now, interviewing all over the NFL, that teams didn't look at that and go, why did he call that play?
Yeah.
Because he certainly called the play initially. Mike McCarthy could have overruled him and didn't.
Yeah.
So you've got two, very astute, experienced NFL offensive minds saying this is what we should do. Yeah. That's troubling when it's on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then the way it was executed was not perfect, and McCarthy has said that repeatedly. But I still go back to Dak slides down with 14 seconds to go. The umpire who's in charge of spotting the ball is 25 yards behind that play. And that just is ridiculous. That should never, ever happen.
It seared in my brain them showing it, replaying it in slow-mo during the game, and him just, I'm not even going to pretend like I'm going to get down to the ball. But I mean, it was ugly.
It looked like Keystone Cops. But it's not funny because the Cowboys season is on the line. And when the NFL, it's $1 billion business.
Yeah.
It's job. People may get fired over this. Free agents may have played their last snap.
Yeah.
It's a big friggin' deal for any team, not just the Cowboys, for their season to end.
Yeah.
And this Ramon George is the umpire's name. He comes running from 25 yards up.
Which wastes time.
He bumps into Dak, which that's not. In what handbook does it say go ahead and knock into a player?
Yeah.
Dak gets bumped into Tyler Biadasz, the center. So now everybody's looks like a
domino effect.
Looks like a 4.2 earthquake is under their feet. Everybody kind of loses their balance and lurches. Then he gets around, takes the ball without ever looking at the line judges, by the way. The line judges are on the side saying, mark the ball right here. He never even looks at him.
Yeah.
Reaches down with his right hand, moves the ball back, and then moves the ball back again. And I'm like, are you playing imaginary checkers? What are you doing with the ball? And all that adds up, what I've just talked about, adds up to a half second, a full second. That's all the Cowboys needed.
Too many seconds.
Too many wasted time, and the officials played a part in that. And again, 1 second's on the clock when he spikes it. That whole cluster F turns into one more play. Now, are they going to score automatically from the 24-yard line? We'll never know, and that's the crime. It
could have happened, it might not have, but we'll never know. So before I move on to head coach Mike McCarthy, I want to talk about, there are rules around replay. Do you think that there should be an allowed replay for that kind of situation, even if it's just in the playoffs? Because like you said, there are contracts on the line, there's a season on the line. I mean, should there be some kind of rule that allows a replay for that, for them to move the clock back?
It's not a scoring play, so it's not in the rules now, but I think it's a travesty that an official's contributing and compounding a mistake is not something that's reviewable.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even, they didn't even think about it. The head referee went to the umpire and said, do you think you messed up? And he goes, no. He goes, all right, game's over.
Yeah, that's it.
And that was it. And
it's to their discretion.
It's just a kick to the crotch to Cowboys fans, again, that's going to last until, the Cowboys fans get over that when we're excited about training camp next year in Oxnard? Are they past that? I think it's something that sticks with them until
I mean,
maybe
we're
they
still
win.
talking about it today.
Oh, we're just getting started.
Oh, I know. I know.
Unfortunately.
But circling back to head coach Mike McCarthy, it's been rumored that he's at least met with Jerry a couple of times since the game on Sunday, and he thinks that his spot as head coach is fine.
Oh,
what
yeah.
do you think?
He's not going anywhere. No.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing straight now, Stephen Jones has come out and gone on the radio on 105.3 The Fan and said, absolutely. When asked if his job is safe, absolutely. You can't get much more definitive than that. And Mike McCarthy held a press conference here at the Star yesterday, as a matter of fact, and on Wednesday, and he wouldn't be holding that press conference if there was any doubt. It's interesting that Jerry Jones has not come out and said definitively he's coming back next year.
Yeah.
But does Jerry have to say that? Mike McCarthy's got a 5-year contract that he just finished the second year of.
Yeah.
There's no reason, there's no motivation that Jerry has to say the guy who's hired is still hired. It doesn't really make any sense.
You make a good point.
But to shush people like us up and with the rumors and the whispers and the what ifs, Jerry should come out and just definitively say we're not making a change at head coach despite the way the season ended. We made progress and he's the guy that gets back to the Super Bowl. End of story.
Well, and not to look backwards, but if you look at Jason Garrett's tenure as head coach.
Do we have to?
Well, just in defense of Jerry not saying anything
Yes.
and being loyal to his head coaches. I mean, Jason Garrett was head coach for what? 8 years, 9 if you count interim head coach.
Yep.
Only made 3 playoff appearances. So no matter how this playoff run ended, I
Right.
mean, Jerry has seemingly been loyal to his head coaches.
Loyal
in the
to a
past.
fault.
Yes.
That's one of the things we say about Jerry with veteran players and then with head coaches, loyal to a fault. Jerry has fired one coach after 2 years in his career, and that was Chan Gailey, who made the playoffs both years. Jerry said the playoffs are not good enough. And he fired him, and he regrets it to this day. He said I cut the cord too quick with Chan Gailey. So
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy's here to stay.
Yeah. So we now know the Cowboys have at the 24th pick in the draft.
Yep.
What needs to happen in regards to the draft and then leading up to next season for the Cowboys to hopefully make it back to the Super Bowl finally and not extend that draft?
Just win a wild card game before you take back the Super Bowl. We got to know what they're doing with their free agents, which they've got Michael Gallup, Leighton Vander Esch, Dalton Schultz, and Randy Gregory. Those are 4 big contributors. Yeah. What are they going to do? I saw a mock draft. Of course, we're going to get inundated with mock drafts. Mel Kiper, the old ESPN guru, says that at 24 they're going to take Georgia defensive end Trayvon Walker, who take anybody from Georgia's defense, you're probably going to be good.
Yeah, national champs.
If Gregory leaves, you've got a hole, obviously, with pass rush. That makes sense. But let's see what they do with free agency. But at 24, you still get a good player. You're not going to get, the primo. You're not going to get a Micah Parsons or a CeeDee Lamb. But at 24, they still have holes at safety, I would think, would be a good spot to look.
And they did make a playoff appearance no matter what, no matter how it ended. So we're still in good shape so far.
Good.